Um, Good evening, everyone. Today, I wanted to talk real briefly about a young lady who I think is misguided. I don't want to say misinformed because I think she's very clear on her intentions and why she says some of the stuff that she says. So I don't have any editing software or anything. But so pretty much what I do whenever I do decide to do a video is pretty much just unedited, off the cuff, extemporaneous material. With that being said, what I wanted to talk a little bit about today was a young woman who goes by the name of Candace Owens. I've been knowing who she is and kind of her nuances and her stances on political issues for quite some time now, but pretty much, I typically just ignore her, or she's really to me not someone even even worth giving the time of day. But in this climate that we have today, and in the midst of a global pandemic, we have a conspiracy theorist, someone who spans or flames misinformation to the public. So pretty much, like I said, Candace Owens, who personally I consider her to be nothing more than a parasitic leech, lower form of life, single cell organism. And also on top of that, this young lady has made a career attacking and denigrating the black community. So at the expense of the black community, she's actually found a niche audience in the conservative circles to make money. But I mean, really, you'd have to kind of really look at things in totality and realize that this I don't know, man. It's hard for me to even call her a woman, but this, hell, Plantation Jane is little more than a modern day minstrel show. So recently, Candace had her Twitter account banned because she was attacking the governor of Michigan and basically, basically calling her out, calling her, a lot of the cliche titles that certain conservatives like to label Democrats as: socialist, or whatever, socialist dictator of a socialist country. So let's think about that for a little bit. Okay, here we have Candace Owens attacking Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and basically, even saying ignorant stuff like the police think she's a joke, blah blah blah. I mean, hell, even if that's true, I mean, as a person upholding the law, I mean, that is your job to do the law, or I mean, do your civic duty that you were sworn in to do. Just like when I was in the Army, personal feelings aside from things, okay, I had an oath to the Constitution, and I swore to do my civic duties predicated on that. So like I said, really, we're talking about a lot of nothing there. So anyway, the dangerous thing about what this, Plantation Jane I don't know, minstrel show is doing. I think people can't really see the forest for the trees. So if you really think about this thing and peel the onion back, okay, so what is Michigan? Of course, Michigan is hit hard by the pandemic. And just to throw out a few numbers, okay, so there have been over 43,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 4,000 deaths, 800 over 800 daily COVID cases, and basically an aggregate about 154 deaths a day. And so, like I said, let's look at the state of Michigan. What is Michigan? Michigan is actually a state that Donald Trump surprisingly and narrowly won during the 2016 election. So if we look at the numbers, I don't have the exact numbers, but Donald Trump got, I want to say, 47.5% of the vote, and Hillary Clinton got, I want to say, 43.27% of the vote, which basically there was a difference of, I mean, basically he narrowly won Michigan by, let's say, just over 10,000 votes. So really, I mean, if we really think about this, I mean, she is a surrogate for, the Trump administration, and pretty much people like her are sent out there to put out false narratives, to cause division. But big picture, Michigan is an important state. So with that being said, this isn't just by chance that she's on Twitter saying, hey, your governor's an idiot. They can't arrest over 10 million people. Go out there and just go to work. So basically, this is all calculated. So we look at Detroit. Detroit happens to be the most highly populated, large city in America with African American person or population. So with this pandemic really spreading and through Michigan, and primarily it is, of course, the denser populations are going to see elevated numbers. So with that being said, Detroit, I mean, the largest city in America as far as African American population. So, I mean, hell, I think really, and this is all calculated. It's not by chance that she's telling people from Michigan and just, hell, let's have anarchy. Let's just go out there in the streets. Hell, let's go to work. And this is all calculated. And so basically, this young woman comes around and says, oh, I care about black people, blah blah blah. But really, the only damn thing this chick cares about is getting a paycheck and being someone that delves in conspiracy theories and throwing out a lot of misinformation. So, I mean, and I'll kind of get off of this real quick, but I mean, hell, let's just say, well, you're not going to convince me that she does care, but two, like I said, this is basically a attack on black people. So, I mean, with the Republicans, of course, you have voter suppression, all the many different ways of voter suppression that the conservatives, the Republicans roll out, basically to keep turnout low and basically just discourage you from going out there and voting. So hell, with this, I mean, this is another form of voter suppression. Well, how can you vote when you're dead? And I mean, I hate to put it so blunt, but you know, you can't. So, I mean, with that being said, this is all calculated and predicated on, Donald Trump using this sock puppet Plantation Jane idiot to go out there and do his bidding for him. So, like I said, a lot of people like to, laugh and, call this guy an idiot or whatever, which, hell, he is in certain aspects. And he's also very intelligent in certain aspects. And, like I said, people, if you really peel the onion, ask yourself why. Why does he have, someone like Candace Owens? Oh, let's go out there and just get black people riled up and, yeah, fuck it. Go out there and vote. I mean, or not vote. Go to work is only your life. I mean, if you drop dead, well, guess what? Now I don't really have to worry about voter suppression because you're fucking dead. But this is the height of irresponsibility and recklessness. And I mean, it really just goes to show that this administration will stop at nothing to basically ensure that they stay in office for another four years, or Donald J. Trump. So, I mean, really, when you think about Trump, I mean, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. I mean, everything that this guy does, I mean, it really fucks. I mean, it really fucks up. So, but the one rallying cry, oh well, he did this, he did that. Oh well, yeah, but look at the economy. Look at the economy. I mean, well, fuck. Now, I mean, you definitely can't run on the platform of look at the economy. I mean, fuck. We're talking 15% unemployment, approaching numbers exceeding the Great Depression. So what the fuck? Well, since I can't run on that, well, how else can we get ahead? Well, anybody that's really, unless you've been living in a cave or anything, of course, like you said, this is this pandemic. I mean, is really paralyzed the African American community. So, I mean, shit. Let's just go ahead and strategically take them out. So, anyway, the next thing I wanted to talk about was this minstrel show, Plantation Jane, basically trying to just trying to downplay the shooting of this young black man. So basically, in Plantation Jane Candace's eyes, this amounts to nothing more than a black man who unlawfully entered some private property, breaking and entering unfinished property, and then she goes on to say, "Please stop the bullshit narrative." I mean, here anybody with a fucking functioning brain can see that. You had a young black man who went on a jog, and then she's even talking about, oh, well, people that are really jogging don't wear, cargo pants. I mean, fuck. I mean, yeah. So that validates the point that she was trying to make, that he was trying to rob and loot the property. But I mean, I don't know. This chick is nothing more than a fucking parasite and a Plantation Jane, and unfortunately, she's found a niche audience in the conservative circles of putting down black people and basically, like, hey, you guys are all a bunch of idiots over there. Which, for most of my adult life, hell, I was a conservative. but it became a point where with this administration and even before this guy got in, I had to look myself in the mirror and said, hey, how can I look at myself in the mirror with any dignity and pride and support someone who is all for tearing down the basic human civil rights that we're all as Americans are entitled to. But I don't know. And then I know, they give her a Twitter account back, and again, this fucking Aunt Your Mama troll comes out with like I said, damn near every topic that she talks about is a divisive topic and in some way to put down and denigrate black people. So anyway, she's got an attack on LeBron James. Will basically he's not on their level because he lacks intellect. Well, I mean, fuck. you might as well just say it. Hey, Donald Trump told me to say that, because I mean, of course, anybody. So basically, he's not going to be viewed as great as they are because he lacks intellect. But basically, he's not going to be viewed like those guys are because he has a fucking conscience and he questions social injustices. And a while back, I forgot who the lady on Fox was. It wasn't Gretchen. She was gone. I want to say Laura Ingraham. Basically, had a thing on LeBron, basically saying, "Hey, you're just a ball player. Why don't you just shut up and dribble?" Well, I commend guys like LeBron James, and hell, I put him above Kobe and Mike because he doesn't have to do that, but he does, and he uses his star power as a global athlete to bring consciousness and awareness to issues that affect all of us. So when some pickaninny scab like Candace says, he lacks intellect, basically, like Laura Ingraham, just shut up and fucking dribble. Don't question anything. There's nothing you see here. But, so anyway, like I said, when I, did this and, it's just right off the cuff extemporaneously. And, like I said, no editing or whatever, no filter, just straight, no chaser. But I don't know, probably gave this parasitic minstrel show too much time, but I don't know, when lives are at stake, it's just really disgusting, to see someone like that who doesn't give a damn about her own people, and no matter how many accolades and attaboys and pats on the head that she gets from Fox News and the conservative circles. I mean, she's still a lower form of fucking life, and she's a fucking disgrace. But anyway, that's my little rant on Candace Owens. Just an unfortunate piece of crap who's like I said, who's actually made a living at the expense of black people. So that's, pretty much why I said she's little more than a parasitic minstrel show. That's all I have.